Welcome to my channel, guy. Ooh, yeah. Let's check out some snare drum, shall we? So I have a drums bus right here. I've separated all my drums into different tracks. So if we check out the Invasion plugin here, I have chosen the multi-out so that I can make tracks for all the drums here. We will check out that in another video, I think. In this video, we will check out the snare specifically, and two snares. We will check out the snare used here in this, which does not sound now, because we're gonna check out the other snare first, which is the Buster, which is nice, man. He's cool, man. In Invasion, I have muted all the snare tracks. It's because I'm using an external snare. So let's go out of here and let's go into drum bus here. You can see I have a parallel drum bus as well. So I have two buses apparently. Here I have a parallel compression. We have a kick zoom, which is a summering where I have all the kicks. I also have a separate one for the sidechain apparently. And here we have the normal snare. I have the snare top, the snare bottom, and the snare trigger, which goes into the snare bus. We're going to check out that later in the video. For now, we're going to check out the Buster snare, the Buster snare. So here I have the contact instrument. It's right here. So let's open it up. In the Buster snare, we have a close mic and a room mic. Okay. I have the Pro snare, so this one it's not the raw, so this one is processed. It's easy to work with and it sounds nice. You can also have the other ones, which is if you load an instrument, you click here and you go, I have loaded it recently, so I just download the Buster presets and drag them in my contact. The raw one looks like this, so it's I had two different snares. You just have to mute the ones you won't use or use both if you want, and you can change a lot of stuff here. So this is the raw one. Let's go back to the Pro one. So here we are. I choose the Pro Snare 7. It's a Pro Snare 3 as well. This one sounds like this. Let's go, man. Sounds sick, yow. Of course, my master chain does a lot as well. Let's just bypass it for now. So let's put on my master chain again. Let's check out what's on my actual snare track. Let's also check out what's on my bus out submix here. So the bus out, a bus where I have sent everything except vocals and then out to the stereo out. And I have C2 here from FabFilter. What this does, we will check out. It pushes down the whole mix when the snare hits. So it's a trick from I learned from Nolly. So let's check it out. Just pushes it down a bit so that you don't have to have high volume on the snare, but it sounds loud. And you can see the settings here. And as you can see here in the contact Buster snare, I have the close mic and room mic. Let's listen how it sounds when I turn these knobs. So as you can hear, the room mic does a lot, and that's what I'm using to make the sound, to make the snare sound big, you know. Let's listen in the mix without the room mic. Let's check out the drum parallel bus here. So what I'm essentially doing here is bringing out some on the low end of the snare, which is around 200, taking out some stuff. I don't want the cymbals too loud either. I don't have a lot of this in the mix, but it gives it a little edge, you know. And the room mics does a lot here as well. It's very hot here in Sweden now, so if I say stupid things, sorry, man. Let's just check out the snare channel and what I have here. I have a transient master, which takes down just a little bit of the sustain because I wanted it a bit shorter and more zwa. I just want it a little bit cleaner. And then we have an EQ here. And in the EQ I took down some ringing notes here, or one. bypass it. And some, you know, Burke. We don't like that in Sweden. So that's that. Okay, now we're in the other project, and you have heard this riff before, probably. We're gonna check out snare in this one. Yeah, my computer is not the best right now. Let's check out, improve it. Yes, we can. So a tips from the coach. Buffer size when you mix, max it out. Okay, let's dive in now. So this one is a bit lighter. Let's check out the Invasion. So now we are in the Invasion window here. Let's check out here. I have the same as before, you know, the multi-out thing here. And also have the medium CPU scaling. Let's check out the snare. I have the Black Beauty, a classic, and I have the mid punch here in the snare trigger. And you can see the volumes here. So we have the snare top, the snare bottom, snare trigger, and some overheads, and the room mics here, very important stuff. So let's listen to them. All right, let's freaking do this, guys, yes. And we have the room close, yes. So, you know, if you only have the top, it sounds not so nice. You want the big sounding stuff, you want the whole package, you know. So that's the settings in the Contact Invasion. And I don't have any reverb, or I don't use the envelope filter on this one. I use it on the cymbals, actually. About that in another video, guys. So let's check out my channel here. So I have the, you know, multi-out, the snare top here. I named them here. You know, we can send them out to different channels. I can show that, how to do that in another video if you want. So I have the snare top here, snare bottom, snare trigger, and the snare bus. So I don't do a lot on the channels here. I just take them to 0 volume here. And that's because I send it pre-fader and, you know, max it out, or I set it to 0. So it only sounds when the snare bus is on here.
Nice.
I don't want them to sound individually. And then we have a snare verb here. Let's check out the snare and the verb. So I have the reverb from FabFilter here. You can check out the settings here. It's from a preset. It's a snare plate. I like the plate sounding reverbs. And I thought this was nice. A bit of EQ, taking away some of the low brooks. Just a bit of shine here. And then I have an EQ, which does nothing. Goodbye. And we have this here. So that when the snare hits, I don't want reverb on the actual transient on the hit. I want it to come afterwards. So I have a compressor to push down the hit, and the reverb comes after. Without reverb and with. So it's a nice, very nice, yeah. And let's check out the individual channels here. So the snare top, the snare bottom, and the snare trigger. I don't have a lot. I have just some EQ. Let's check it out, man. Okay, let's go, man. On the snare top, I have a EQ, like this. Took away some of the ringing notes here. Let's take a listen. And then I can just solo this bus and everything will sound cool. But for this one, we can just solo the snare top. We cannot because let's do this. Okay. Yeah. Let's listen without EQ. Let's go. Ooh. Can you hear the ringing notes, my guys? Yeah, I took them away. So here around 200, you know, the fatness lies. I just want to push that a little bit on this one. On the snare bottom, I have nothing. On the snare trigger, I do like this. Take away a lot of the plask, you know, if you jump in the water with your belly first and you land, it sounds like this. You don't want that, okay? You want the fatness, you know, if you do the cannonball in the water, it sounds like this, you know? Yes, that's what we want, my guys. Okay. I also have some stuff on my drums bus. Let's check it out quick. We will go over this in another video. But just check out what it does to the snare. Not so much. Let's also, at last, to the least, let's go with the snare bus. What do I have here? So we have an EQ here, 200, a bit of Burke and Plusk, the belly flop sounds. We don't want that. A bit of yeah man. Okay, and then we have the saturation here, just a little bit. This one's free. It's very nice. Saturation knob from Softube. Get it now or not. So you can set a different stuff. Set some different. I have a natural. Let's listen without. Let's crank it. Yeah, you want a little bit of that, not too much. Okay, and then we have the compressor here, which does nothing. Just kidding, guys. So this one kicks in right after the attack and tries to, push the sustain a bit. If we crank it a bit more, yeah, it's too much. You want it to be a bit fatter, longer, and nice stuff. I actually have a free clip on this one. Doesn't do a lot. I want the same thing. I want the, the sausage sound on this one as well. Like this, yeah. This, I want a more... Very good, guys. And that's it for today, I sweat very much. I talk Swinglish and I almost die. I don't, but it's hot, man. In the next video, we will check out other stuff. Do you want more drum stuff? Do you want more guitar stuff? Do you want more bass stuff? Or do you want other stuff? Write in the comments below and we will check you out. Check me out here. Goodbye!